Chief Conley, you're still connecting. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I had a call in. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's not detecting my microphone, it says, so I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. I'm going to give it one more minute. I see two attendees here. Okay, so I'm going to start the meeting. Good morning. Going to open up the Licensing Commission remote meeting Monday, May 22nd, 2023. It's now 9:02 a.m. As the recent amendments to the open meeting law allows, the Licensing Commission will continue to hold meetings remotely. All votes will be taken by roll call. If you are calling on a phone, you can press *9 to speak. So the first item on the agenda, I'd like to introduce the board members, the committee members. It would be Chief Conley, the Police Chief, Eric Smith, Fire Chief, and Joanne Sino, City Clerk. First item in the agenda is the approval of the March 21st, 2023 meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we,
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the March 21st, 2023 meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made in second. Roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Zinos, yes. The motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item on the agenda is the request of Arnie Rosen for a street musician license pursuant to Boston Code of Ordinances, Chapter 3 Amusements, Article 2, Section 3-15, and Section 3-18B3. Okay, I believe Mr. Rosen is on the call, and I'm going to bring him in to allow to speak. Mr. Rosen, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I can hear you. I apologize. I'm very low tech. It's something I'm supposed to, I don't know what to do. Can you see me or hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh,
Okay, so could you give us your name and address for the record, please?
sure. My name is Arnie Rosen. My address is 31 Prospect Street, apartment 511, Gloucester. It's the McPherson building.
Okay, and so can you tell the commission where you want to do the street musician license? I believe it's Main Street and
Oh,
Okay.
well, last year I did it and it was great. I played either next to the dress code in that little alley or next to the shoe store across from Headline Salon, that space there. So that seemed to work well for me.
Okay, so the space across from Headlines, that is private property. So did you get permission from the Cape Ann Savings Bank?
Oh, well, that was that big space. So we was talking about the same thing where the benches are next to the shoe store.
Yes. That is not city property. That is private property owned by the Cape Ann Savings Bank.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And Chief Smith, is the alleyway between the dress code and the old used to be Empire building, is that private property also?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up on GIS to figure out who technically owns that parcel, because
Yeah.
obviously we can't get through there because it's blocked off. So it's one of those things we don't even really consider. And when we do try to get up there, which we have, we ground out the ladder truck and put a divot in Mike's Road, and then we get yelled at. So it's not a good place for us to go.
I'm happy. I'm happy to play any way you want. I did definitely get permission from Barbara on the dress code. I don't know. We became good friends. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to play any way you want to play.
I just want to make sure if it's not city property that you get permission from the owner of the property to set up.
Sure.
I know people have set up on that private property next to the shoe store. And I believe when they do that, they get permission from the owner of the property. And I have no problem with that because I've seen musicians there as long as they get permission. And I think last year you did get permission from the dress code owner. And then also, I believe we also put you at in front of on Main Street, in front of the used to be the Browns building, there on the corner there. Did you use that section of the city property on the sidewalk?
No, to be perfectly honest, I mostly played in the dress code. Barbara seemed to really like me being there, so I just kind of went with that. That's kind of the way it ended up working out.
Okay, not probably. The only question I have, Chief Conley, is there's been a lot of construction on Main Street. So, and I've seen details and closing and everything. And I know that the old CVS building is being worked on a lot. Is there any concern there if he's set up in that alleyway?
No, I mean, the construction is supposed to be coming to an end there in the next coming weeks. They were supposed to be done now, but they pushed off. I think they expect to be done by mid-June, perhaps even earlier. And then that building, the construction in that building, other than the fact that it popped out to take some of that sidewalk, the rest of it's really on the interior.
Okay, all right. I have no further questions. I don't know if you do.
No, and I took a quick look at that properties and most all those alleys and ways through there are city owned.
Which one? The one by the dress code?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look up. What
Okay.
which one is that exactly? Is that Parsons you're talking about? Parsons Street, that kind of runs back behind the old next to the CVS property that's getting rehabbed, all that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that one looks like it's in the layout as public property. And then that small park type setup at the head of the parking lot for Bank Gloucester is private property all the way up to the sidewalk, like you said. So that piece right there'd need to be permission from the bank. As far as the rest of it, it looks like it's fine. So I would make a motion to approve the request of Mr. Rosen for a street musician license pursuant to the Gloucester Code of Ordinance, Chapter 3, Amusements, Article 2, Sections 3-15 and 3-18B3, with the requirement that if he is going to perform in that small, what appears to be a pocket park, but it's actually private property, just to get a letter to the clerk's office from the bank saying it's okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Sinos, yes. The motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, Mr. Rosen, if you send in that letter or come in with that letter, we'll issue your street musician license.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, have a good day.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the request of Richard Perotti Jr. for a street musician license pursuant to Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 3, Amusements, Article 2, Section 3-15 and 3-18B3 at the Last Stop Coffee Shop, 273 East Main Street. Is someone here for that? If they are, could they raise their hand? Because the other thing just says admin, so I'm not sure. Okay. So can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Daniel Egger, co-owner of the Last Stop Coffee Shop, 273 East Main Street, applying on behalf of Richard Perotti Jr. a street performer license, which includes 2 guitars, a small amp, and a drum set that will be put on the property adjacent to on our property right beside the Last Stop Coffee Shop. And if you're looking looking at the coffee shop with a frontal view, the three-piece band will be situated on the left-hand side of the property. Well, which we did at the same area as we did last year.
Are there any questions, chief? Any concerns, any complaints that you get from last year?
No, I don't recall any complaints that we had that location last year. I've ever pulled up, so I see what you're talking about. I think I remember seeing them out there last year, actually.
Yes,
I don't think
yeah,
it was-
we performed
It's like 12 to 2.
12 to 2 on Sundays. I believe it was 3 times. And we notified the abutters, obviously prior to the performance, to see if there was any objection from the nearest abutters, and I did not get any objections to that, and they actually welcomed it. So that was positive.
Excellent. All right, well, I will make the motion then to approve the request of Richard Parati Jr. for a street musician license pursuant to the Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 3 Amusements, Article 2, Section 3-15 and 3-18 BC at the Last Stop Coffee Shop at 273 East Main Street.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Chief Conley,
Yes.
G. Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Sinos, yes. The motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, Mr. Egger, you can come into the city clerk's office and pay the appropriate fee, and we'll issue the street musician license.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is a request for a plant sale from the GHS Hockey boosters and Lauren Gold. She confirmed that she was going to be here on this call, but I don't see her. I've been dealing with her since April 13th on this matter. And the only concern I have is because when she came before the commission 2-3 years ago, she wanted St. Peter's Park, and we kind of not approved St. Peter's Park because of the traffic. But now she got permission from the restaurant there, Oak to Ember, to be on private property at 9 Rogers Street. So I'm not sure how you feel about that location still, because it is still down adjacent to the St. Peter's Park. And actually the plant sale is this upcoming weekend, but she's not on the call. So I don't know.
It seems like it's going to be tight over there, but I'm assuming people would park in St. Peter's and walk over. They wanted to purchase a plant. So perhaps maybe if that's where people park, they actually park rather than pull up like a drive-through. I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah, I would think that if it's going to become a problem, it'll kind of avail itself to that with phone calls and issues, and Ed's folks will be over there going, hey, no, this isn't happening like this. Have them, tell them to just point them into the parking lot or something, and they can swing in over there and do their business. There is plenty of room around the perimeter of Oak to Ember, especially on what used to be the old entrance side, right? I don't think they're setting up tables on there. I think all their outdoor dining is out back, on the old deck and whatnot. So, as long as they're not interfering with the activities on the sidewalk and they're not stopping in the street, I don't see it being a problem. And if it becomes a problem, like I said, I think Ed's people will see what's going on and be like, yeah, they know. So.
Yeah, I did want to ask her a question on which side she's going to be. Is she going to be in the front where the front door is? And then after on the side there, they have that little tank, white tank or whatever it is, there's space there, or whether she was going to be on the side of the St. Peter's parking lot, but of course she's not here to answer the question.
Yeah, I prefer they not be out front because we're working with the restaurant to better secure their hot cooking and food out front there, where it's a bit of an issue. And if they're gonna have kids over there running around doing a plant, and there's just more room over on the side. They don't the restaurant doesn't do business on that side. That's literally
Right.
an exit only or emergency egress, and that's it. You know, it's kind of a dead space for them now, so.
Okay. Okay, well, it's up to you, chiefs, because it is public safety.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem
remember-
approving it. And
Yeah,
if
okay.
it becomes an issue, then, like I said, we know who's gonna end up over there and how it'll get handled, and it'll be a short-lived problem.
Okay, so we did, when she requested before, we did have her go to the municipal parking lot. And like I said, we can approve this on this condition. It might set a precedent for other fundraising activities, but we can see how it is. And like we said, if we have any, like you said, both chiefs, if we have any public safety concerns, then after the request, again, will probably be denied unless she moves to a different location. And if we have any other traffic concerns that anyone else coming before the commission and asking for that location, we can just address the concerns if there are any on the upcoming weekend. Because it is a busy weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. You're going to have a lot of activity downtown. And I think throughout the city on that, but it's, pardon me?
I'm sure if you saw the weather, the predicted weather for Memorial Day weekend, I don't know how it's gonna be. It's
Yeah,
not
might
look good.
might get a little rainy, which wouldn't hurt my feelings. I'm glad to get the rain like at least weekly right now before we set more of the woods on fire. So,
Well, they did change the weather forecast because it was supposed to be beautiful until Memorial Day weekend, and now it's kind of changed. It's a
Yeah,
little disappointed, but it is what it is.
yeah,
Okay.
people will still come out. But before I forget to ask, did she in fact provide you a letter or some type of indication of permission from Oak to Ember for them to be on private property? Because obviously, I mean, we can't tell them that they're not allowed to have customers park in a public parking lot because it's public parking lot for whatever commerce. And if she has permission to operate at Oak to Ember to do a plant sale, then it is what it is. Obviously, they expect drive-by traffic to be a big thing, but it's a good restaurant and they stay pretty busy. And if they buy plants, hey, they might do well on both ends. So, you know, as long as she gave you the letter.
She didn't give me a letter. She indicated it in an email. Like I said, we've been going back and forth since April 13th on this application. And so she didn't give me the letter. When I call her, I can ask her to produce a letter before I issue the permit.
Yeah, even an email from the owner or manager or
Mhm.
somebody saying it's okay with their kind of credentials on it. But
Okay.
yeah, let me give a whirl at this
Okay.
motion with a bunch of conditions. So I move to approve the request of Lauren Gove on behalf of the GHS Field Hockey for permission to conduct a plant sale at 9 Rogers Street with the conditions that the management at 9 Rogers Street, Oak to Ember have provided permission for their operation on their private property, and that the field hockey folks are well aware of the fact that they cannot obstruct, hold up, or otherwise operate on the sidewalk or the street and interfere with the public's movement through that area.
Second the motion?
Okay, roll call vote, Chief Conley,
Yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Sinos, yes. The motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed, and that concludes our business on the agenda. I want to thank you very much for pulling this together. It's kind of difficult because people want everything at the last minute.
Always. It's America. That's what we do. Hurry up. Wait till the bitter end.
Okay, thank you and have a great day.
All right, thanks. Oh, do you need a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Yes, so moved.
So moved.
Okay, roll call, Chief Conley,
Yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Sinos, yes. Thank you very much. Have a good
All right,
day.
see you guys.
Bye-bye.